Jolan True, one and all, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to season 3 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. We're going to get to that shortly. I want to go ahead and welcome everyone. Don't forget, head on over to ndbmedia.net, which you see it down there scrolling at the bottom, and check out all the stuff that's going on the network. There is an incredible amount of stuff happening on the network. I am the host tonight. I'm the lucky guy. My name is Roger. Thank you for joining. Good evening, Michael. How is it out there on the East Coast?
We had a nice, good storm about an hour ago. That was really exciting.
Was that a thunderstorm type thing?
Absolutely.
Wow. It's pretty crazy. The one that I had over there in May was
that was nothing compared to this.
Hey, it is all good. But we'll get to the man chuckling in a moment. Liz, first of all, Liz, I am so grateful that you are on the road to recovery. I know I haven't had a chance to tell you this either personally or publicly. I am so happy that you're recovered and you're spending time back with the network. I know you've been back already, but I still welcome you back, Liz. How are you doing, young lady?
I'm doing great, Roger. I'm glad you said that. I do appreciate it. And I have a question for you specifically. I want to see which one of us is hotter. We're starting to cool off at 95. What are you right now?
I was unprepared for that. I thought it was going somewhere else.
How hot are you, Roger?
If only. It was 83 degrees outside right now, and it's very good, Liz. Very good. And it's 89 degrees in here right now.
Aha, I'll probably trade you.
Fair enough. But I am going to be in Sacramento next week, July 24th through the 27th.
Oh, what fun. You're going to a convention, I'm assuming.
I'm sorry?
You're going to a convention, I assume.
Yes. I'm going to be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So maybe we'll talk about that in a little bit. Greg!
Howdy.
How you doing, young man? It has been a little bit, dude.
It has been a bit.
How's the wife? How's the family? How's everyone there?
Oh, everybody's doing about the same. You know, life is life sometimes, and
tally ho.
Tally ho.
Yeah, looks good.
Beautiful day in Maine today. A lot less humidity. But the car dealership did not fix one of the problems with my wife's car, so I had a little bit of a cranky day.
I'm having cranky days because the dealership has not been able to fix the USB connector on my car, and it's hit and miss. It's very frustrating. But
this I think is a safety problem. One of the tires keeps losing air, and I even told the tech, can you please make sure that the rim is whatever within tolerance? Because they keep resealing the tire and it keeps losing air.
Yeah. I don't pretend to know more than that. Hopefully they are able to fix it. Even though I worked in fleet management for about 13 years, oil, water, and gas. That's it. Petrol. I know about the electrical stuff, but I don't know very much.
Well, you just make sure they're coming and going. You don't necessarily fix them.
Yeah, that's right. I just gave the stuff away and I collected the old stuff at work. But that's done. I'm in my 6th week of retirement and I am loving it. Woohoo! Thank you. But the man who knows a lot more when it comes to storytelling, here he is right here. Definitely, because I know nothing. I wrote evaluations. Aaron, how you doing?
Hello.
Man?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing very well. And I understand that you're in another dimension.
Yes.
Like being ahead of us. It is 6:05 p.m. on the West Coast. What time is it where you are?
It is 9:05 a.m. Western Standard Time.
Wow, Sunday morning. Well, let's get to this so we can keep everyone's time respected. Yeah, we'll get to
it. Seriously?
As a matter of fact, a tiny bit of house cleaning. I will be traveling next week. So do you guys want to have an episode next week? If you are, we'll go ahead and get it done. I noticed I say we'll go ahead and get it done. So if you guys are set to having it next week, absolutely awesome. Other than that, man, let's get to it. Aaron, I cut you off. Did you have any announcements?
No announcements, no films.
And Greg, Before you came on, I had asked everyone when I introduced you if you had any announcements that you wanted to share or make clear. Any
Exciting. No.
Oh.
No, he announced his car woes. That was
Car woes.
Yeah, I apologize. I have a few as well, but it's all good. Ladies and gentlemen, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, the halfway mark in the season run, or not the season run, but the series run. We are there. Episode 1, Hegemony Part 2, debuted on July 17, 2025. I did not get the runtime. If Greg would be able to help me out on that, I know he's real good at that. The teleplay was by Danny Perez, and the story was by Henry Alonso Myers and Davey Perez. It was directed by Chris Fisher, and of course, created by Gene Roddenberry. And the music, or the theme, is by Jeff Russo, but the music for the episode is Nami Melumao. And I apologize for the pronunciation on that, but I am trying to give credit where credit is due. And now the conclusion. Who wants in? Let's get to it, guys.
I have one major question I was trying to look up and try to find. I truly think that this episode was filmed concurrently with the cliffhanger of last season. Because when we come to the next episode, too many things have changed in looks of the characters. So I think this was filmed back to back or at the same time as what the cliffhanger from last season was. It was all done together. Does anybody else?
I don't think it was. And
Really?
the reason why is because the actress that plays Uhura in this first episode, she's wearing like a wig cap to hide
Right.
her hair
Oh.
because in the next
you're
episode
right.
it's grown out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure that they stopped, had the writer strike, and then had to come back 2 years later.
Oh, okay. I did
Yeah.
not catch that, but now the second you said that, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good catch,
Liz,
Aaron.
that's a fair question because the minute you asked, I'm like, yeah, that's right. Uhura's hair is different in episode 2. But okay, that was definitely a good catch. Aaron.
I mean, I kind of wish that I watched part 1 again before, because I guess I didn't realize how long that gap was. It was a fairly substantial time.
Yeah.
And I think because it was so long, my expectation for this episode, I didn't feel 100% satisfied with, and I think it's because there was just that so much anticipation for it to come back. But that said, I think I enjoyed this show. It was an enjoyable watch. Both episodes were enjoyable. So yeah.
Okay. Greg, you're smiling there.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Aaron. My wife and I actually did watch the last episode first when I realized it was a part 2. And, only because, yeah, it'd been like 23 months, 22 and a half months.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Almost 2 years.
Didn't think it'd been that long.
Good. Wow. I did.
Yeah,
I
it was
knew
July
there
of
was a gap, but
23
no.
to August, or August of 23 to July of 25.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, hold that thought, Greg, because I did have a conversation with Michael that it looked like he did not see the season finale.
I remembered I did, but yeah, it's been that long, and I
Okay,
forgot.
so it's been that long.
Because when I watched it again, things came back to me. But the first when I started 3-1, it was like the previews of the previous episode. I was going, what are they talking about? I couldn't remember anything.
Wow.
And-
Okay. I
I know I
guess.
threw you off a bit when I started to talk about the one before, and you're like, I don't think I saw that.
Yeah. It was like, but I had I just didn't realize it had been almost 2 years. That explains it.
But you saw it. So, Michael, I guess you recall now that one of the frustrating moments I had in episode 210 was my perceived, and I think Greg, I don't know if you were here for that or not. My whole thing was that like Pike was like, yeah, okay. It annoyed me to no end. So I was invested. I remembered that. I did not watch the episode again. I went by memory. I had no idea it was 23 months. Wow. But okay, that was one of my biggest gripes to end the season. Is like,
Yeah, they dragged that particular scene out too long, and it, on the rewatch the other night, it was so obvious they just dragged that out.
So they did,
just to get the, oh my God, what are we gonna do? And it's like he doesn't think that slowly in a crisis.
No, he doesn't. Michael, what were your thoughts now coming in from 210 to 3-1?
Well, as I said, when it finally hit me and I remembered everything, it was just like, oh yeah, this was bad. That was my first, it's like, oh, they are in deep, deep trouble. I mean, it got right in. 3-1. And I just, I will say this. I felt like the episode was very, very long. And then I realized, I said, no, it's less than an hour long, but it seemed longer to me. And I don't know if it was just weird. I just felt like it, I think I'd gotten through 20 minutes of it and I thought it had been 40. And I don't know why.
For an action
mood
episode, it was surprisingly slowly paced.
Yeah, because it just didn't seem to move as fast as I thought it would. Maybe that's what it was.
You're talking about 3-1, right?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. All right.
I thought it was kind of fast.
Okay. Now, I didn't think it was fast, but here's the thing. And I've talked to you guys about this in the past. When I look at my watch, there's problems. Okay. Yeah, I did not look at my watch. As I said on Monday night, when I went to watch Jurassic World 7, or the Jurassic World Rebirth, I looked at my watch 38 minutes in. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to say I was done. I'm not going to talk about that now, other than I looked at my watch. Guys, I did not look at my watch in this episode. And I did not notice the time passing. This episode had my attention. And I think they made up for it when Pike was like, all right, give me options. And they started to rattle off. I disliked in the battle. Oh, sir, we're down to 50%. Oh, we're down to 30. It's like, dude, have you even fired yet? I understand maybe the weapons are ineffective, but I was like, oh. But the episode moved quickly. I did not pause I think I paused it once, and that was to write something down. Other than that, I lost track of time. What is the runtime on it, folks? Did you guys get that?
48 minutes. So that would include the previously and the end credits.
Wow. My impression is it was a longer episode than that. It moved fast for me.
They had a lot in it, and the action scenes moved pretty good. The combat scenes moved pretty good, but like the escape, the crew trying to escape, Christine trying to deal with Captain Patel's problem, those scenes seem to detract. They just seem to slow it down. It's like they had two different paces going on. Okay. I didn't get the sense of urgency with either of those subplots.
And that's fair. I did get the sense of urgency on him. Okay, I'm going to reveal something that I don't reveal very much. Michael knows of its existence, but here it is. Today hasn't happened. One of two of my scripts that I have written, they're registered, and this was a Star Trek Next Generation episode. I lost my proverbial stuff when they said the ship is going through two binary stars. I'm like, oh, no way. No way. My story had a binary star system in it. Long story short, they detected high-speed warp travel in a binary star system. And it was of interest to Starfleet intelligence. But I'm not going to...
Voyager did one, too.
I'm sorry?
I think Voyager did one with binary stars, too.
Yes, but I didn't see that until after the fact. This was first run, and I was like, I hope they didn't steal my idea. And they did not in the way I used it. But this is one of my stories that is hidden right here next. It's on my wall. And yeah, I wrote this back in 1993, guys. Oh, wait a minute. No, 1992. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So they had my they had my attention, and knowing that there were binary stars, it was like, okay, I know the battle of the binary stars in the original episode of Discovery. Yeah, I know. But it looked like it was going to have something to do with it, and it did in a way. But it had me glued, wanting to know what they were going to do with the binary stars. So I'm like, okay. I do agree with you, Greg, that the medical stuff did slow it down, but that wasn't my impression. First run going in, maybe less expectations. This episode delivered for me. I was actually okay with it. I said, you know what? This is a good start. I appreciate it.
Okay. I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Oh my God! This is the rest of the season is like this. Awesome. It was okay. They wrapped up the story fairly enough.
I kind of agree with them.
Did they wrap up the story?
I kind of agree with them going at two different speeds, though. For the action scenes and the combat scenes, you do need that high action level of adrenaline. But yet, when they're in sickbay and doing other things, you don't want to be moving with that high action adrenaline. You need to stop and think. That's why it was a slower pace, to my understanding.
I didn't get the sense of urgency for Patel's condition.
Which is ironic, because that did have like a timer on it, didn't it?
Yeah.
It did. Yeah, it actually did.
Yeah, like I said, I just think it was to verify two different things. Patel's situation was extremely serious. Yes, it was urgent, but there's only so much they can do while they're running simulations, and you do have to think about, if you're going to save her life, you don't want to rush into this blindly.
Okay, fair enough. Let me ask all of you this. Michael and I talked about this once. Greg, I don't know if you and I did, and I know Aaron and Elizabeth, I haven't had the chance, but in the second episode of season 2, or the second episode, which is one of my favorites, is where Una is given, she's accepted in the Starfleet. I forget what it was, but Robert April and Pike, remember, April tore into Pike in that episode. He says, you never gave me a chance to do blah, blah, blah. And he left angry, and we never had resolution. Remember, Michael, we talked about that?
Yeah.
There was no resolution. So when he comes aboard from the Pablo Picasso, ever the artist, I was like, I detected at first some of that animosity, or was I reading too much into it? Was it the situation that was stressing them out, or was Robert still carrying over? That, if so, kudos to the writers, because they kept that. But you guys are better at this because you've done programs.
There was friction. Yeah, it was more than just the event, and I had forgotten that. There was some soreness left over from that episode.
Oh,
yeah. He just seemed a little icy at first, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
If it was done, Aaron, kudos, huh? 2 years later, they carried it up. And Michael, that was a good follow-up then, that they kept it in mind, because that was icy the way Robert, Admiral April left off with him. And, when he was coming over, I'm like, is this a scene from another show where the Admiral's going to come over and give him the proverbial slapping? But it was good. I felt he did lighten up a little bit later because, hey, we have a bad situation on our hands. So in that, I did appreciate. I also did appreciate Pike's saying, dude, they formed a line. They're not going to stop. We're weak because of the Klingons. And April said, yeah, I know. I get it. I hear you. I'm not stupid. He says, well, they're going to keep taking and taking and taking and taking. And I did appreciate what April told him oh yeah, go ahead, Greg. Go ahead. You're nodded on that one.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you on that. I mean, my only comment was, I loved the graphics for this. I thought they were very reminiscent of the original series. So much so that if you looked at the map closely, they actually had the Cestus system on the Federation side of the line, and I appreciated the tactical discussion of, they're just going to keep moving. Because if you were looking at the map, you realize that demarcation line went through the system they were in. It didn't encompass it. So it's like half the year the planets are going to be out of one territory and in another. So that was kind of, I think spot on. That they were just going to keep pushing and pushing.
All right, I appreciate that. And then when Pike asked him, "What are our orders?" and officially says, "You will man the frontier." Unofficially, I'm like, okay, all right. There is some bravado there, but I did appreciate go give him a black eye, and I did like that. But well, we'll see the rest of the episode. I'm talking way too much. Aaron, please.
I was just going to say that it was interesting just speaking on the binary star thing, and then what you're talking about them retaliating against the Gorn. It was very similar to the opening of Discovery, in that like not only was it set in a binary star system, but Michael Burnham's whole thing was that they had to attack the Klingons first. They had to meet the Klingons in the same level of force that they were presenting, so then they would retreat back to their space. And that's essentially what happens in this story as well, that they have to hit the Gorn back in the same manner, otherwise they'll take over the Federation space. And it was also interesting as well that essentially the resolution is the same as Best of Both Worlds, in that they're putting the Gorn to sleep, they're hibernating them as well. So yeah, it was kind of reusing a couple of cliffhangery tropes to come up with a resolution. And I feel like that, going back to what I was saying earlier at the start, I feel like that's why I wasn't satisfied with this, because it just felt like a repeat of other things. So yeah.
So is that how we're going to get rid of the enemies every single time? Figure out it with a binary star? Is this becoming regular
Hit him in the
now?
nose, take him away.
Yep.
I suppose. Thank you, Aaron. For
you just ruined Roger's day, I think.
for making that quite clear, because I've caught other things from other stuff, and I like pointing that out. And I had that one slipped to my mind clearly. So yeah, that they effectively put them to sleep. I will say how they got there though did have my attention, and that was good. I did love the line, and I forget her name, the engineer of the Enterprise.
Pella.
Pella, I can't believe it. When Pella comes in screaming, "Oh my God, they need this!" and then Scotty, what? Did it fast, and then the overhead on the 1MC. Hey, how you guys doing? We're about to get going. Are you ready to go? And instead of using the B word, he called her a minx. I thought that was good. You don't have to swear to get your point across, right, guys? Because that line could have equated to First Contact when, Picard says, Moby Dick, and she says, "Well, I haven't read it yet." Come on, you know exactly what Picard wanted to tell her. So I thought that was cool. He called her a minx. That was derisive but respectful. And that was
and
cool.
Scottish.
I did appreciate that. I'm sorry, Greg?
And Scottish.
Aye, lad. Yes, indeed. So it was cool. Like I said, there was enough there for me that this was a good start to the episode. Was this a phenomenal? Oh, no. But it was good. Now, the issue's not resolved. Ortegas was wounded big time. And I thought when the Gorn basically touched you, you're impregnated at that point. She was wounded, for goodness sake.
I was really unclear on how that happened. I wasn't sure if it was something that happened when they were fighting at the end of the first episode,
That's
or
what
if
I
it was
thought.
part of her being digested by the ship.
I don't think it was part of her being digested. I think it was part of the fighting.
It was
'Cause
during
when
the
she
fighting,
got
I
out-
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when she first got out of the digestive enzyme stuff, she seemed fine.
Well,
And
other
then-
than missing part of her hand.
Well, yeah, besides that. But I mean, they all were missing skin and other things partially digested.
Yeah.
So I think it was during the fighting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Gorn like puts a claw through her stomach,
I thought that's what it was, yeah.
which is why she was bleeding over the sort of
Yeah.
motorbike style controls thing.
Let me tell you, I genuinely worried for the character. And I rarely worry for. I'm like, oh my God, I have not checked the cast credits. I have not looked forward. I was like, they suckered me on that one. I genuinely thought Ortega's. I mean, of course she was in danger, but I was like, oh my goodness, are they going to wipe her off the series?
It would
My
be
favorite
interesting to
new
see whether they
character
get rid of
dead in
her.
the first. Yep.
I both of you said something. Sorry, gentlemen.
Oh, go ahead.
Aaron?
I was just going to say it'd be interesting to see whether they do get rid of her at the end of this season, because I know that they've said obviously the characters that aren't in the original series are not safe. So it'd be interesting if there is a cast
Yep.
shake-up.
Yep,
Okay.
but-
Because now they've
Same
added
thing.
Scotty to the cast as well as another person. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
Greg?
No, it was pretty clear she was in dire shapes, and I actually did expect her to, with the addition of Scotty, and it looked like they're going to keep Pella. I'm like, oh, I think they're going to kill off my favorite.
Oh, she is your favorite? Oh, that's
yeah.
kind of cool. All right. Aaron, I did not know that. I mean, it's obvious because they did make the announcement they're going to end the series in a year and a half, more or less, in 2 years, and it's going to be with Kirk taking command. That's how allegedly the series is going to end. So we're going to get the character. Sulu will be here. They are missing a few, but I didn't know that. That's oh, so Ortegas is your favorite character?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's kind of cool. I think we'll have to go around later on in other episodes to see who our favorite characters are. But now we know Ortegas belongs to Greg, and I'm okay
It
with that.
doesn't belong to me. I think my wife would be upset with that.
I think her husband would be too.
If wishes were horses, folks, we're just talking about an alternate universe.
Yes.
Let me see. They talked about. I did appreciate how Spock went into sickbay, even though if he's, you know what, I appreciate Spock went into sickbay to help Christine because she's only a nurse. But where were all the other doctors? As
They're
we
on vacation,
understand,
obviously.
yeah, there are other doctors aboard this ship.
Oh, sorry, they were in the auxiliary sick bay where they
Yeah.
sent all the
Yeah.
200 colonists or whatever. They had a perfectly good primary one, but they sent them to the other ones.
That was good. That was good.
Well,
Yeah.
even when they got to the met the fleet. I mean, there was other doctors on the other ships.
Yeah.
Speaking of the doctor, I have a question for at least two of you, if not three of you. I know one person will definitely not know what we're talking about. But when they're trying to escape from the digestive pods and Leon gets out, do you recognize anything that she said could have possibly been an Easter egg for a different show when she said, always rescue the doctor first?
I didn't pick
I
up
have
Aaron,
no
you
answer
of all
for this because
people
it's
should get
Doctor
this.
Who. Right? This
It
is the
is-
Doctor Who
It is
reference?
Doctor Who, but I mean, I didn't realize it until till Liz explained it to me because I didn't put the connection together.
So what is
Yeah,
it? I
because
have
she
no
was-
answer.
You know, you were right. It was Doctor Who because she was on Doctor Who.
Yeah, see, which I did not
Really?
realize that.
Yes. She wasn't a main cast member or anything. She was only in it for a short amount of time. I think 1 or 2 episodes.
And some pivotal episodes too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be. That's cool. I think
And I
that is
caught that
cool.
the first time through because I knew which is funny because for the first 2 seasons, it kept driving me crazy. I know this actress. I know this actress. Where do I know her from? Then during the break, I figured it out. So when I heard her say that the first time through, it's like, oh, talk about dropping an Easter egg. But
That's good. I
Lorna Bucket
yeah.
in season 6, episode 7.
Interesting. I knowing what I do know, I would call that an Easter egg.
Son
That's-
of a gun.
That was good. Good catch, Liz.
yeah, I'm kind of disappointed Aaron didn't catch it.
To be honest, my ears did prick up when she said it, but it didn't at all
It didn't
register.
dawn on you.
It didn't
what it was.
register. No, yeah.
See, and when I heard her say that, I said, okay, is that General Order 13? General Order 14?
That's what I thought, yeah.
You know, that there's some sort of Starfleet procedure. That's kind of what I thought, but we'll see. Thank you, Greg, for posting in the private chat. I do want to take a quick moment. It is 6:32 p.m. Pacific time. This is Trekking Across the Universe. We are reviewing Star Trek Strange New Worlds, episodes 1 and 2 of season 3. I want to welcome everyone watching us. We do appreciate. Why don't you drop off a comment? Let us know who you are and where you hail from. And it's absolutely a lot of fun. Thank you for returning and spending some time with us. Just let us know. Just drop a comment. Tell me how much I am wrong on my reviews, because I get them wrong often. So, Michael, your thought, anything else you wanted to add to the episode? Anyone? Otherwise, your thoughts on the episode in general, good, bad, whatever.
I mean, I enjoyed it, as I said, but I just thought it was a lot longer. That at some reason time just was very slow for me. I don't know why. Had other things on my mind probably. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Before I go to Liz, I did forget. Pike had some good lines in this episode. Another one was when they're explaining the odds, 1 in 1,000. He's like, yeah, I like those odds. They all look at him. He's just, yeah, but you can erase all that. But I thought that was going to go, I like the odds. That was good. And there was like and I did appreciate make us shine like the sun. I did appreciate that one as well. When they were creating the artificial coronal mass ejection. I loved how Scotty said, it's impossible, Captain. We can't. We won't. We need Soren-like technology to take out a star. But anyway, that's beyond. Elizabeth.
Well, I know what the Gorn little personal ships were based off of. Fidget spinners.
Oh,
You
I
ever
thought you were going to
notice
tell
that
me
stupid
it was a
shape?
toxin dart from Attack of the Clones.
Oh, okay. That would be interesting. But no, other than that, I liked the episode. I thought it was a decent tie-up. And like I said, I did find certain things humorous, and then a couple things, like with Ortega, I really wasn't sure she was going to survive either.
Oh.
So, and in truth, I was really concerned they weren't going to save Patel either. I really didn't think they would. So, it turned out better than I'd expected.
Cool. Greg.
I thought it was. I mean, it had its moments. I loved the Pella Scotty subplot. Of course, I've loved Bella since she came on board. And now that they've introduced Scotty, I think it's going to be interesting to see him grow. I thought it was interesting that when they offered him a drink, he said he didn't.
That was I don't drink. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was very fun. That means
What was your? Sorry, Greg. What was your? Did you have sometimes we talk back to the TV or the theater? Did you have one of those? I did. I'm like, whatever, dude.
Oh, I mine was not yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry to interrupt you, brother. Go ahead.
So that was a lot of fun. I am also appreciated, because of the engineering subplot, that they didn't do like the typical 5-minute wrap up to solve the problem. They took their time to figure it out. They explained it. They brought more in than just Scotty figuring it out. It was like a group effort to come to the solution, and they spent at least half the episode executing it. It's always been an annoyance of mine with many of the Star Trek episodes, especially the action episodes, when they solve the problem in like the last 5 minutes. And this one, they get some points back for making it that part of the episode plausible and following that activity.
Thank you, Greg. Before I get to Aaron, I wanted to add, and for Aaron and maybe even Greg as well, another reason probably why I didn't recall the Best of Both Worlds is because of what Greg said about the schematics and the graphics. We saw Cestus 3 and everything. I forget which one of the crew says, "Sir, based on the data that we have, this could be the very beginning of an invasion based on what we see."
That was Uhura.
Okay, that was Uhura. But in my mind, when they put them to sleep, I was like, okay, this temporary. We're going to see this in a few years when they reawake. So that's why I missed the Best of Both Worlds connection, which is valid, Aaron. But that was my thinking. I'm like, okay, all right, all right. They're screwing with the Gorn now, but they've actually given maybe a reason why the Gorn are going to come. In a way, they solve their little issue with the storytelling.
But Pike even brought that up. What you just said. I'm afraid we're giving this issue to somebody else.
Yes.
So he tied it in.
That would have been so funny had Kirk been on the bridge. He just
oh God.
Up. Anyway, that would have been lame, but it'd be kind of funny. Anyway, I apologize. Go ahead, Aaron.
I guess I'll just carry on from what Greg was saying about. I think it was good that the hibernation solution took a large part of the story, because it is common that they would do the 5-minute at the end rush job. The only thing that I was disappointed by was I wish that they went back to sickbay again, because I felt like that plot, once Spock stopped Chapel from cutting out the baby Gorn, and he was like, oh, what happens if we reabsorb the babies into her metabolism, and then we use whatever to fight the infections that are going to happen. We never went back on that. And the other bit that I was kind of disappointed that they didn't have another scene on was after Ortegas bleeds out and passes out, I wish there was a scene with her in sickbay where they said oh, that was stupid that you did that. You risked your lives for us. And she's like, oh, it's okay, that's my job, blah, blah, blah. Because I feel like that the resolution or the discovery that she's going to have this PTSD problem in the next episode, I feel like it should have been part of this episode. Because I feel like her character in particular is probably the most underserved so far. And I hope that season 3 is about her in more ways than one. But I feel like for now, she doesn't have a character other than I'm Ortegas and I fly the ship. We haven't explored her past like the other characters. And what makes me sad is that from what happens in the next episode, where we find out that she has this PTSD issue, it kind of means that she's borrowing La'an's problem. And we find out that La'an is now fixed from the whole Gorn thing, and now she dances and whatever. But I feel like she's just taken someone else's character rather than having her own path. So that's how I kind of feel about it, unfortunately. And I think she's a great actor, and I love watching her, and she has an energy. But on the ship, she just sort of... on the Gorn ship, it was just sort of one-liners and things. There wasn't... I feel like she didn't have a part to play in it.
Not until they got to the fighter.
Yeah, and I hope that the rest of this season gives her a proper backstory.
But maybe that's what they had intended with the writing, if they're going to phase her out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope
Yeah, but
not.
now I'm
I
going
hope
to be
not.
watching for her to be just replacing Lon.
I
But
have a feeling that we're going to see her spin out in the next couple episodes and maybe leave to take care of that issue.
That's
maybe.
interesting. This is rare that we've done this where we actually do the look aheads. And I guess we're not doing it because we already have episode 2 this time.
Mhm.
Okay. Wow, guys, great points. This is good. All right. Well, if it's right with you guys, I'm going to go ahead and just go on. I do apologize. I did not get who wrote this episode and who directed it. I have blanks in my notes. I'm shocked. But it is season 3, episode 2, premiere date July 17th, 2025, entitled Wedding Bell Blues. That title threw me. I'm like, wait. Who the hell's going to get married? But okay, fine. I don't have written by and directed by, but we get right to it. I will have to tell you, before Act 1 was done, I knew who it was. Yes. So I don't know if that's the worst kept secret. Admiral Greg. Oh, that's right. I cannot believe. Thank you, folks. Written by Kirsten Bayer, and as you know, she has been a guest on NDB Media, and David Reed, as well as directed by Jordan Canning. And the runtime is 50 minutes. Thank you, Greg. This one was longer than episode 1?
It seems shorter to me.
It certainly did. Michael, go for it.
Well, I mean, I'll just say that. I mean, that was my big thing. I mean, I knew who that bartender was, and I just went, "No, I've got to be wrong. I've got to be wrong." And then the longer it went, I said, "Oh no, I'm right."
The moment he did the Q thing, I was like, oh, it's cute.
Well,
Come
the
on.
Q, and then he made some other comments that character did, with Kirk, when in the end that episode, and I just went, and I'll just go right to the end, and then when it was Q's voice as the father, I about died. I said, yeah, that was it. I went.
I don't know about
Trelane
you guys.
is canonically a Q now.
Yes.
Which people have said that's what they thought, and this kind of said yes, he is. So,
and it is now canonical because I don't recall them saying the actual year 2161. I don't know if it's been mentioned anywhere else, the founding of the Federation. Okay. Because they never said how many years.
I think they did in Enterprise.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but actually the founding of the Federation, it happens after.
Yes, but they did a 10-year leap at the end.
Fair enough. And that's fair. I don't recall them doing that, and you're more likely right, Michael, and I appreciate that. But I immediately did the math. I'm like, wait a minute, but Kirk should be 21 years old. They met. Oh no, wait. Kirk was born in 2033. Sorry, I did the math ultra fast. Like, he was not born in 2038, dude. It was 2033. All right. And I believe Scotty was born in 2228 or something like that. So he is a tad older than Kirk, even though he looks younger than Kirk. Yeah, in this one, but that's okay. You saw that. It's all good. Thank you, Michael, for that. Aaron, I'll go to you this time.
I can't remember the original series episode. To be honest, I'm not a massive original series fan. I probably only bought the box set because when Star Trek Continues came out, so I probably maybe watched them once, but I'm not 100% on it. So, yeah, I don't know the whole backstory of the Trelane thing, but I thought it was entertaining, the episode. It was kind of a comedy episode, but it wasn't as sort of slapstick as the previous ones of the body swapping and whatever. But yeah, it was enjoyable to watch. It wasn't offensive. It was just good watch.
Okay. Liz.
I had good and bad experiences with this. I knew in the instant the camera hit on him that was Trelane. I mean, nobody else could dress like Liberace. I'm sorry, other than Trelane. But there were certain other things. I loved his character and what happened, but then there was other things that went on early on, like Spock's waiting for Christine to come back, and he's sitting there and he's looking at two different outfits that are, of course, the same outfit. But one, I don't care if you're half human or not. That's not Spock's character. He's not going to do that. And there was several things that were so out of character for Spock.
Yes.
It really irked me that they deviated so much from that. But then again, when, all of a sudden we hear, that it's Delancey being his father, Trelane's father, as the Q, that was perfect too. But going back to Spock, what I wanted to say was Spock's whole acceptance of, Christine being in love with another man and just kind of letting go all his feelings instantaneously and helping him when he finally realized that he was under a spell. I think that moved way too quick. I don't think any man or woman would be that accepting that fast of someone that you've supposedly loved deeply in your heart and couldn't wait for their return. To do that, it felt like really poor writing to me on that.
Greg.
It was a fun episode. I didn't want a fun episode. I don't. That's the only way I could put it. It's like, there was so many last season that were just goofy. It's like I really want them to do science fiction, and this one had like almost no sci-fi elements whatsoever in it, and other than Trelane was messing with people, and I just. To me, it's like the interpersonal stories have always been the subplots and not the plot. And I thought they threw it away. But there are aspects of it that were fun, though. I thought, the whole thing with, the appetizers, they were disgusting, and then he turned around and they were fine. Some of it was fun. I was surprised that Dr. Corby was Irish. So well played. I think it was Killian O'Sullivan that played him. Very well played. I liked the interactions with Spock and Corby, despite the fact that it was all a fluff episode. I thought the costumes were really good. I loved the redone dress uniforms. I thought they looked really sharp. And I thought the Trelane costume was fun. So, and I thought Christine's wedding dress was crazy. Not great crazy, like too much going on in the front crazy.
Oh, like a real New York
that would
runway.
be a Trelane thing, that he would have designed something like that? Since Trelane kind of did things. Think about it.
Possibly. The other thing that I thought was weird that I made a note of, I didn't go back and rewatch it, and it was before I put the subtitles on. I thought Spock made a comment about he didn't know we had a Vulcan bartender.
Yeah.
And then later, people are referring to him as an Andorian.
Did you notice when he looked in the mirror one point, the mirror reflected back he was an Andorian?
Actually, I thought I was seeing
Missed
things.
that.
Very good, Liz. I thought I was seeing things. All right.
It was the same when Spock was at the bar. He had a pad in front of him, and you saw a Vulcan on the pad. And then when the camera panned up, it's Trelane.
Yeah. I thought it was funny. Yes, a Vulcan bartender. And I'm like, whatever, dude. For some reason, I found that the most amusing thing.
Yeah,
were
I don't think that was very well presented, if that's the
yeah.
case. I missed both the reflections, and it was confusing. The dialogue wasn't matching what we were seeing, and I thought that was unfair. I think if everybody saw somebody different, I think that would have been interesting and made it more mysterious than putting Trelane right in front of us from the beginning.
Okay, that's interesting. I knew it was Q by the end of the first act, or I didn't know it was Trelane, but Trelane is a Q, but now it is set. You're right, it is canonical. It just he did way too many things, and the whole idea. I didn't realize it was a spell. I thought it was a dream that Spock was having. I'm like, ooh, this is interesting. We're getting because he said, remember, what you take can affect you.
Yeah.
So he was like hungover, having a fever dream or something. So I was like, okay, that's creative. Where's this dream going to go? It was far from a dream. I did appreciate the two smart guys, Corby and Spock, because Corby never. I mean, he knew right away what was going on, and he said, "Well, I'd like to believe it was my superior intellect that was able to fight off this spell." And Spock said, "Yeah, between the two of us, dude, I'm quite certain that my intellect would be superior." But no, he didn't figure it out right away. So I thought that was okay. But other than that, I have to tell you, everything all of you said, yes. But for me, Q again. Okay, all right, fine. There was nothing other than the very last scene where Ortegas is frustrated and she goes off and she's back to, boxing. And I did like meeting the younger brother. That was kind of cool. The exchange and the flirting between the brother and
Yeah.
Uhura. That was
That
actually
was
kind of funny because they were getting under Ortega's skin.
That was kind of fun.
Yes.
I'm an only child, but I've seen how siblings can handle those types of interactions. Like, don't you be looking at my sister, sort of thing. And so I thought that was kind of fun, and I did enjoy seeing her in casual clothes. I thought they made her up well for when she was just casually.
And we
Yeah.
all know that if Ortegas were to get married, it would be on a beach and everyone would be wearing shorts, as she said. Now, we now have a connection between Star Trek and the Twilight Zone. It's a canonical connection because Corby says if I don't pay it, or to Spock, says, if I don't do what he said, says he's going to do this.
Cornfield.
He's going to send me up, man, to the cornfield. I'm like, done. It's done. So the universes exist in the same. So I'm like, okay, we had Doctor Who last episode, and now we have this one. So that was kind of cool because we all know he was killed off anyway at AR 558, but that's neither here nor there. Which the joke was at the time, Star Trek killed off Space 1999. I remember them talking about that, but that's neither here nor there. I don't know what they all have their memories of what happened. So I don't know how it's going to affect them. I guess I'm interested in seeing where they're going to go. But, she returned with a boyfriend. And I genuinely was a bit angry at Christine Chapel. But you know what? I know people make decisions and stuff. But I genuinely disliked her at that point. I'm like, wait a minute. Go, Liz. Go ahead.
Did you catch the look she was giving Lon?
Yes.
I
That
mean,
kind of a
like-
look. That was, I caught it right away, and that's why. Based on the fact that she came back with someone, I was a bit angry. Yeah, at her. But that's okay. I'm not Spock, and I'll never be. And that colored my opinion of her moving forward. I don't like Christine Chapel now. And she might have been one of my favorite characters, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in that forward. But, guys, Greg, yes, I wasn't looking for a fun episode. I didn't think it was fun per se. It had fun moments. But this was a genuine letdown for me. Yeah. Wow. Both of you gentlemen are nodding. I couldn't tell. Liz? What-
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you guys. It wasn't all that wonderful to me.
Michael? I know you jumped right ahead to the ending.
Yes, because that was like the fun part for me was the
Yeah.
ending. It wasn't one of my favorites, but
Before I heard John Delancey's voice, and when I saw the theme come in, do whatever, I thought they were going to try to do the original voice of the parents. Remember?
yeah,
Trelawney. I was like, oh, this is cool. We're going to hear them. We've seen Governor Tarkin in Star Wars and others. Are they going to how are they going to do the voice of the parents? Like
They could have just used the same dialogue.
That's what I was thinking.
They probably could have. But when they tied in, because I couldn't hear it first. And then when I heard John Delancey's distinctive voice, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. Duh. I wasn't disappointed. It was nice to hear John Delancey's voice. It was cool. But the episode was, it was a letdown for me.
My wife got up and walked away from it.
Oh.
Wow.
Ooh. I didn't look at my watch at this episode because I was curious, but yeah, this was a letdown. I guess it was for you too as well, Michael.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Now, a lot
I
of
feel
people
like-
love this type of episode, though. And that's probably why they did it. People want to see the familiar characters. People want, the tie-ins and stuff. But now, Kirk wasn't the first one to encounter Trelane. That's the other thing I didn't like about it, is it took away a really good original series episode.
I also feel like because there wasn't a point as to why this character was doing what they were doing. I feel like with Q, he was trying to teach Picard a lesson, or there was some value in what he was doing that Picard took from it. Whereas I feel like this was just playing for the sake of playing, and Spock happened to learn a lesson out of it.
I think
And
not
I-
only did they screw up the original stuff, but they also screwed up when Q came on board with his son to leave him with Picard to have him learn. And they screwed up that as well going forward. To have him be such a spoiled brat. Kind of like a
That was,
Q.
I thought, with Janeway.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Janeway. You're right. You're right. You're
But
right.
there was the female Q, the younger one, that was with Picard.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Q's son, was with Janeway.
So does that mean that Q Jr. is Trelane?
Trelane.
Well, did they mention something of the number of kids? Was that the number that they were haggling over? I think they said like 2,800 and something. I don't know. I missed that. I wanted to go back. But I thought that was like how many kids Q's had. I'm like, wow.
He also said that there was a homeworld, like a Q homeworld as well. Whereas I feel like in the other shows, it's like a plane of existence. So that's interesting too. Different.
I did not catch that. But guys, so thank you, Aaron, for catching that. When that episode of the Q2, not Q2, because that's Corbin Burnson, the Q that wanted to commit suicide, when they went to the whole theme of that long road, dude, that was hardcore, way out there concept. That was well done. That one took me like 3 years to figure out. When it finally dawned on me, I'm like, dude, that was cool. I got
Yep.
that. That was good
really
stuff.
good.
And I appreciate, Aaron, that you referenced that again. I had a buddy of mine that he was like, dude, that is so cool. And he started to go off, and I'm like, is it the same episode? Are we talking about? It took me a while to figure that one out. The whole Q existence. That was really neat. That was cool. Sorry about that. But all right, fair enough. Wow. This is rare when we're all on the same page. Now, the episode ended with Ortegas having, I guess, a flashback of something behind her. But I thought she was wounded. So are they saying that? How did they miss this? So, is that
I
bad
think
writing?
it's PTS. It's strictly PTS.
PTSD. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right, but am I wrong? I thought that if they scratch you or anything, that's it. You're done.
Was
You-
it
you got it.
if they spit or something? Didn't they have
Oh.
like
Yeah,
a
I
venom
thought it was
sac?
what was in their
Is that what it
saliva,
is?
like
Yeah.
a bite
Okay,
or
I guess he
spit.
didn't have a chance to, spit into the wound. Okay, fair enough. You're right, Aaron. I guess there was something. I missed it. All I know is that it's 78 degrees outside now, and it's 86 degrees still in here.
It's 92 with me.
Sorry.
I don't think it hit 80 up here today. It was gorgeous.
Well, I'm unfriending all of you.
Okay, that was funny.
Well, you were cool. You had cooler weather when we were in the 90s, Liz.
That doesn't count.
Yeah. I don't know. I was disappointed. I did like the idea of a Vulcan wedding planner, though. That was kind of funny. I mean, I was like, okay, that was all right. Or no, just a wedding planner. Spock's idea to have a wedding planner. They're like, hey, guys.
Andorian wedding.
It was
planner.
Andorian. Okay.
And also, his parents weren't there. That was another plot
Giveaway.
hole for me.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And he wanted it to be more human-like. So yeah, you're right. There are some issues there. No
Do you
doubt.
think the writing is going to deviate and make it where he's going to develop a relationship with Leon?
That's kind of where it looked like it was heading,
I agree.
especially at the end where they danced together.
Uh-huh.
There was that vibe, and I wonder whether, going back to the what someone was saying about when they're in the transporter room and she's like, "Oh, do you need quarters?"
Uh-huh.
Was that her like being friends with Spock, being like, "I've got your back here. Like, I'm gonna get to the truth out of this."
Yep.
Right.
That's right.
insane.
That is
Yeah.
so right. Yes. Oh my God, Eric, very good. Good point. Because you're right. And she's up. No, it's taken care of. Very uncomfortable. That was well done. I gotta admit, that was well done. But
I actually really like, at that point where it cuts to the title sequence where there's really dramatic music, like a typical sort of Star Trek, like,
Yeah.
Something's exploded and we're like zoom crashing onto the person's reaction, but it was just, okay. She's dating someone else. That was funny.
Yeah. Now that was it was all right. There were things that were good, but it was a letdown. It was a misfire. But am I still watching? Yes, Strange New Worlds. My daughter, my youngest, and I are still spending time talking about it, and I appreciate that. And now, what did surprise me, folks, going back to episode 1, many of you recognized it, many of you did not. But Pike went down on one knee and began to utter what for many people in this time frame is, they do not believe in the existence of a God. And Pike began with a very clear Christian prayer. And I think he was like 4 words in. And I was a bit surprised by that. Because
they have established he was raised in a Christian family.
Which is why he said, okay, Dad, you win.
Yeah.
And it was...
Okay.
I believe it was
that.
supposed to be part of his original character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's a couple lines in the cage that, include that type of dialogue.
And wasn't there a Discovery episode where they go to the planet that has like the church
Yes.
on it, and he mentions something about growing up religious?
Yes.
You're right. You're so right. I missed that. I go back to the line of Janeway, where Janeway says, it's been clearly established for some time that, a superior being doesn't exist. And I think it was in the first season when she said that. So, I don't know. And that actually, I remember the uproar. Michael, do you remember that in Voyager when she said that? I mean, the people got mad that Janeway said, in the 24th or 24th century, God does not exist. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that actually. I probably blocked.
Greg, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I remember there were a lot of pissed off people. And then the next year, there were a lot of pissed off people when Janeway, when she said, man, I would have given to ride shotgun with Kirk and crew, but the whole bunch of them today would have been thrown out of Starfleet today. People were mad at that.
Yep.
No, I think she was being honest. She lives 100 years after him. Yeah, I think, it is what it is. But anyway, thanks for correcting me, guys. I had missed that. All right. Anything else you guys want to add to the episode?
Nope.
I liked the dancing bit at the start, but it kind of bothered me that it was kind of the same thing of like Data and Dr. Crusher dancing,
Yes.
and some of the dialogue was the same as well.
Yes.
But it was, I don't know where the dancing came from. It was a bit left field, but I'm looking forward to seeing a relationship between Lan and Spock,
guys,
whatever that may be.
Okay, I heard you guys say that. Okay, so that's a good one. Let's see what's going to happen moving forward. But I thought T'Lan and Kirk, after tomorrow, I know she was the only one, but that was huge. And then, remember, we talked about the review. Are there ramifications in that episode? And I thought we did get hints that things had been altered. So
Maybe there's going to be a love triangle between
Could very well be.
Spock, Kirk, and Lan.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the first time.
No.
That's funny. That's good. Okay. I got a no. Greg, anything else?
Nah.
Okay, Aaron, anything else?
Just great costumes. The costumes in this episode were fun. I think they have a good blend of like retro futurism, and it's good.
Yes.
I think, yeah.
I
The
will
one
agree
thing
with
I
that.
regret is we don't have next time on Strange New Worlds. I don't understand why they don't do that anymore. But whatever.
Well, from the
Okay.
title, I'm guessing it's going to be mostly on a shuttle.
Oh, that's very good.
It's
Luca-
Shuttle to Confori.
Okay. The app that Luca recommended to me, the gentleman that we interviewed from the Ark, I like that, and it already has all the titles of all the episodes coming up. On, what is it? The program is TV Time. So I have that app, and all that information is already in there, too. So I already marked off both episodes that I saw today. But okay. All right. Well, good start to season 3. But, folks, the reality is, passing these 2 episodes, we're down to 6, 10, 8. We're down to 24 episodes. I mean, that's it. There are only 24 episodes left of Star Trek. Yeah, Strange New Worlds. Because they did announce they're going to end with season 5, and season 5 is going to be short, only 6 episodes. My whole thing was, what the hell do you guys think you are, Game of Thrones? I mean, come on, let it go.
Hopefully they'll have a better ending than Game of Thrones.
Well, like Game of Thrones, we know where it ends. So
Personally, I don't think they can call them seasons if they're half what a season used to be.
Dude.
All of them have been shortening, except for the U.S. networks. They still do about 20 to 23 or
It's
4.
like they can't pat themselves on the back for running longer than Enterprise.
Oh,
No.
no. That's how privileged we were, guys, growing up. 24 to 26, and sometimes even a few more episodes per year. That was crazy.
Yep.
That is almost a run for.
I know Voyager's first season was short because of it started mid-year, and Next Generation's second season was a little shorter because that writer's strike.
They had a strike, yeah.
So I think we only got 22 in the second season or something like that.
But
No great loss there, though.
oh,
I liked Pulaski.
You like
Not
Shades
me.
of Grey? Shades of Grey?
Shades of Grey, I think we've never watched a second time. We skip over that one all the time.
I don't think I've ever seen that a second time. I am on
That
a
was
grand
all
rewatch.
right. So
though.
21 episodes.
I am at the end. I'm somewhere on season 3 of the original series, and then I'm going to go to the animated series. But I'm also going to follow the order of them. I'm going by broadcast dates. So I'm doing a grand rewatch, and I've started it several years ago, and I'm just trying to do it whenever I can. So, all right.
Yeah,
Speaking of the
we started watching them too. I think the only one we've skipped so far was Miri.
Okay.
My wife doesn't like that one.
Aaron, you were going to say?
I was going to say, speaking of the animated series, the bartender that was on the Starbase with the 3 arms.
Yes.
I don't know what that species is called, but hopefully
Edoan.
that person comes along.
Well, did you get the thing?
They hired
Are you
him.
offering me a job?
Yeah. Sorry,
So-
hopefully they reappear is what I meant.
Yep.
You know what? Very good. That did not dawn on me
Lieutenant
before.
Eric's, and I think he was Edoan or something. Edoan.
Okay. That was good. You see, guys, I don't know about you, but I appreciate you guys let me know that apparently this is what the fans want. They want these callbacks. They want these connections. Dude, I grew up at a time when, you know, there wasn't any of that. Remember, we had to wait. There was one comment about Kirk in the first season of Next Generation. Remember that, guys, when he says, I remember someone taking a shower. And that was in Kirk's report of that, that disease. We didn't get anything from Kirk until I think it was somewhere in the 5th season. Spock. Sarek. It's like it was very rare. We had tiny other connections, but I don't get it. You guys that are younger than me, can you explain to me what this whole idea of this fan service is? Because everything has to be connected. I don't understand that. It's like,
I think the problem is the internet, because it has allowed people to have a voice when they didn't. You didn't have that type of immediate reaction to things back in those days. I remember, when Enterprise came out and they had message boards and things like that. I remember the crap that got at the time, and it's hilarious to me to think that people now are like, oh, that was such a good show, and we rewatch it on Netflix, and they should have made season 5 and campaigned it's bonkers. And to find out more about DS9 and what that copped and early Next Generation, it's exactly the same. It's just that right now people have the ability to voice their opinion very loudly, and for some reason, the showrunners listen to that, and I think that is wrong, because being a writer and being a fan are 2 different things.
It is neat
I'm biting
when
my
you
lip.
find an Easter egg, but there are internet programs that count all of the Easter eggs per episode. I'm like, dude, what is the? Okay, yeah, that's not my thing.
And
I think
Easter
they're fun when you
eggs in
find them.
DS9 was like Mike Okuda would put a picture of Cestus 3 in the background of a Replimat thing, and that would be the Easter egg. Whereas now it's part of the plot.
Yeah. Tiny bit of trivia. Greg, I think, knows this one. But do you guys know what is the first accepted, documented Easter egg ever in a movie? You guys know what it is?
Mm-mm.
It is the original Tron. When Sark is looking at a screen, you can see Pac-Man on the screen. And I will see if I can find that for you guys. That is the first known, acknowledged. Most people say that's the first Easter egg in the way that we know Easter eggs now. But Pac-Man, yeah, if you guys look for it on the internet, you'll find it. There's a scene where Sark is looking at the screen and there's the yellow Pac-Man there. It's kind of cool. I missed it the first time. I wasn't.
Yeah, I always thought it was every recurrence of the Wilhelm scream.
Oh, That's interesting. Oh, all right. Oh, fair enough. Okay. Well, I guess we're there. Aaron, what'd you find?
Well, I googled it and it said that the first Easter egg is from an Alfred Hitchcock film, The Lodger.
Okay, fair enough.
So I am still looking.
I do not have that one. Maybe it was the first science fiction Easter egg. Maybe I
It
don't
might
know.
have been the first science fiction thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember them saying because that was in a movie because we've talked about this in the A-Team. Face goes to Universal Studios.
And the Cylon goes past
And
him.
the Cylon walks by and Face is like, nah.
Dirk put that in there
sorry?
purposely. Dirk put that in there purposely.
did?
Yes, that was his idea.
That was cool. That was. So does that qualify as an Easter egg? I don't know. That was just an homage to, he's at Universal Studios. That's where he worked. And the Cylon goes by and he's like, nah. I thought that was
Well, generally they are homages.
Yeah. So, yeah. Am I confusing this? Oh, I did appreciate when who was it? When they were telling Spock in the episode, Spock, that's an idiom. I thought that was really good. And I forget exactly where that conversation took place. And I think Spock just blew her off when she said that. And they were, I forget what they were talking about, but that's okay. All right. I might find it for another day. Guys, I think we're belaboring it. I want to thank everyone. The first episode, I think overall was a positive. The second episode, I think we were a bit disappointed. The second episode did have some fun in it, did have some good moments, but at least as far as I was concerned, I think it was a bit of a misfire, but we'll see. Share your thoughts in the chat room. Other than that, guys, I'm Roger. That's Michael. That's Captain Cooper over there. Admiral Greg and Aaron. Thank you. This is Trekking Across the Universe. We will see you guys next week. Is that what you guys are going to do?
We will. Yeah, we will.
All right. I will not be here. I will be up north. All right, guys. We'll see you guys on the other side. Jolan True.